What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day, and make sure you subscribe if you're new. Subscribe, fuck me, can't speak English. So, today I want to put this big hunk of junk up into that big hunk of junk with these hunk of junkers. So, the plan will be to use the jack, hopefully. I do have some solid bushings, and I think it came with some poly bushing. Kind of old, but they look alright, so I'm sort of wondering if to run the poly bushings as opposed to solid bushings. Solid bushings are in subframe. So, I don't know. But yeah, we'll jack it up and see what we can do. It's actually really heavy, so we'll try that. Also put the slave cylinder in, and got a bunch of the bolts in here, and torqued them all down. I do also have all my braided lines that I can start putting in. However, we're still waiting on the master, which apparently is meant to be here in like 2 weeks. So if that comes soon, then we can put that in. Hopefully that doesn't hit this. I don't know if this needs to be lower down still. I've seen some photos and they're lower down, and some brackets here. So, fucking sockets everywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure, but right now that's sitting all good, and obviously I still have to clamp all the fuel lines and everything, but yeah. Oh well, let's get on to what we're actually trying to do. So we're just running a ABS open diff at the moment. We won't be running the ABS, so as far as I'm aware you can sort of either clip the sensor or just take it out and plug the hole, and that's sweet as. We do have an ABS drive shaft, so they will do, or at least should match up. I won't be putting the drive shaft in just yet because I do need to do the handbrake cables, and if I put the drive shaft in, then I can't really get to the handbrake cables. So we'll leave the drive shaft out for now, and then just get the diff and the axles in. Won't really be able to put the nuts on the axles either because I don't actually have like a 32mm socket thingy, so I'll sort of just hand tighten them on and go from there. And this will be the last video for a little bit, just because I've got a trip down south and gotta pay for things like that. So, shouldn't be too hard to put this big bad boy up into that hole there, which doesn't show up too well on camera, but yeah, so you got your two little thingies, where these thingies go. They go in there, and then obviously the bushes go here into these holes. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And this, I was gonna spray this down, which I probably should too. So let's actually go and pull this out and do that first. So we got it in. So we did 3 attempts. First one sort of fell off. Second one, I thought I had it this way, but it didn't seem to want to go in. I thought it was tapping at the top of the body. So I dropped it back down and had a look at it, and I don't know if I ended up just flipping it over or not. But we did it again, and it's actually really easy to do. It only took me probably ultimately 5 minutes or so. We just went with the solid pushes because then I know it's all new. If I don't like them, then I can obviously just put the poly ones in, or if those are OEM, they sort of look a bit OEM, but they sort of have a bit of more rubber, which I suppose they could be rubber, not poly. Anyway, so now we've got to move on to the axles once I button up the diff, but it's kind of cool to see that diff sitting in there now. So I'm about to get the axles in, so just give this a quick rinse down. This side is longer than this side, so I believe that this side goes into this one. and that should go onto the other side. We'll give this one a quick spray down once I get to that side. So I assume I want to put this end in first, and then try and slip this into the diff, and then just bolt it up, and that will be one axle in, which will be pretty darn good. And I also got to figure out the handbrakes for these, which I'm pretty sure the cables are screwed, so I need new ones. And there you have it. Axle number 1 in. Yeah. Whew. I just loosened off all of the bolts a little bit, just so that the diff has a bit of wiggle room. And then that just ended up sliding right on in. And yeah. Okay, the left hand side. In order to get it in, we had to take all these arms off, which I thought I might have had to do anyway. So on this side I did, the other side I didn't. It's all back together now. I've just got to put the bolts in on the axles, and boom, that is Diff and Axle install. It's actually pretty easy once you sort of know what you're doing. So one side you got to drop everything out, the other side you're alright. And I've just loosened off the diff, so I need to tighten all that back up. But yeah, that's that. And then I can just put my lines into here. As you can see, there's a new line. So I won't be using these ones. I've got braided lines in, so I'll put those in. But this is just to sort of see where it goes. Alright, so the last thing I want to get done is some of these braided blinds. I want to put them in. Probably just do the rear side, and then maybe the slave. I would do the front section as well, but I don't have the master cylinder at the moment, as I said before. So in here I have, I believe that's the rear. I believe those are your fronts. And then the rear, and some bolts. So banjo bolts, 1 brake line, 2 brake line, banjo bolts. And there we go, some brake clips. So OEM spec, pretty nice, pretty nice. And then our banjos. So I believe that side will go up to there, like so. Something like that. And then this side will go over here, which I don't know if it's alright that it dangles, but we'll soon find out. And now we're on to the clutch and slave. So just goes down there into the slave. This is our slave. I just put the heat wrap on it, if it focuses. Yeah, so you can see there's a bit of a heat wrap on it. I figured it's not a bad idea. I mean, I don't think it sits next to the hot side of the engine that much, but for like $8, better be safe than sorry. So we'll go stick that on now. I suppose we'll just start on the top end and go down. Okay, so it's on, but you can see there's quite a bit of thread, and I don't know if it's meant to be like that. It doesn't want to go anymore. I don't want to force it to go anymore. So I suppose we'll just see if that holds. I don't know. But time to go to the other end and put the banjo in and everything. And also this is quite a bit long. Like you can see it like snaking around. Which I suppose it's sort of meant to be like that, because I think they're meant to be fairly universal. So, I don't know. Anyway, that just goes in like that, and then that's done. Easy as. Alright, so I think that will conclude today's vlog. I think that's a good amount of progress. Diff axles and a couple of lines in. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know. Apparently you can get a Torx socket and put it in there, and then a spanner, and then break these off, or buy a fucking tool. I don't know. We'll figure that out eventually. But yeah, getting there, slowly getting there. I've also been sort of test fitting some of the wheels. Not that they're mine, but this is one of the old fenders, and I think that looks pretty good. So I might even look at buying these wheels and going from there, because they look good. I like them. So yeah, just need to get the wiring done and an ignition switched in, and then I should be able to fire it up. Won't be for too long. And I'm not running this radiator, just so people know. I just want to use this just to see if it can fire up and everything like that. And then I'll probably replace it with a not GK Tech, a Phoenix one. And yeah, and then obviously I need to do all these little vent lines and stuff like that, which I figured out. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you do like and subscribe. Peace.